live in freedom is that the United States military is out there looking out for us. And more importantly, yes, that is a And more importantly, looking out for those who intend to do our nation harm and preventing that from happening. It takes a special person to be willing to make such a sacrifice, and I can honestly say to all those who serve or have served, thank you, thank you, thank you for your service, your sacrifice, and for our freedom. It is great to see so many of our veterans here today, our veterans and their families and friends, and many of them are wearing either all a part of their uniforms or items that reflect their branch of service. Even without your uniforms, you stand tall. You stand tall. But it's great to see your pride in our nation and in your branch of service. Today's keynote speaker, Major Way, I want to get this right, Way White President. She is Contracts Division Chief in the Procurement Support and Policy Directorate at the Army and Air Force Exchange Service, also known as AFIS, headquarters. We're proud to see you honoring the United States Air Force, and we're just Major President. We're so thankful that you joined us today. Another special guest is retired Captain Dr. Maggie Johnson Glover. She wore the Navy uniform with pride during her 26 years of service. And she also represented the U.S. Marines in her role as lead inspector for the Navy and Marine Corps' Human Research Protection Program. Speaking of the Marines, there is another proud member of the Corps who I know is in the crowd today, and I speak of none other than my colleague on the council, Councilman Richard, also known, or mostly known as Dick North. Would you raise your hand? And so it would just be my honor today to, for those of you, the few and proud, the fact that you're always faithful, it is my honor to recognize the 243rd birthday of your beloved, our beloved, United States Marine Corps. Let us give the U.S. Marines a round of applause. 243 years, that's a long time. And God bless you for that. So to those of you who proudly wear or wore that special uniform, happy birthday and Semper Fi. Now, before we continue with the program, I did want to briefly point out that the city of DeSoto has a video camera here today. So look out, it's here because we want to briefly talk to our veterans and also our active duty military before you leave here today. Each one of you has a story that is not only interesting, but one that is very important to future generations. And in DeSoto, we're trying to capture that history. And because it is your history is also part of DeSoto's history. We want to talk to you about your service and your life in the All-America city of DeSoto.
Creeds and colors.
And now for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now for the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Can you come up?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Would you bow with me, please? Dear Lord, it's very humbling to be in the presence of the sovereign God. Lord, it's very humbling to be in presence of so many brothers and sisters who have served in arms. Lord, we ask you to always bless this great republic, this great state of Texas, this all-American city of DeSoto. Lord, we know that there will be those who follow us that will go into arms. We know those that have been in arms. We know that there are those that are currently under arms at this time. We ask your protection, your angels, to watch out over them. Lord, we know that there's no greater love than to lay down our lives for someone else. And Lord, I stand here with so much pride and honor to be among those who have willing to do that. Lord, we have those in our families who have done that. And we know, Lord, unfortunately, there will be those who in the future will be having to do that, Lord. Lord, be with their families always. Be with them as they have to go into danger, they go under fire. May your protection always be with them. Lord, as we go through this ceremony, may we always do it with a reverence, knowing that you are our sovereign God, that we stand here redeemed by the greatest sacrifice ever made, that of your Son, Jesus Christ. May we always live our lives every day humbly, knowing that we stand in relationship with you because of that. May we never take it for granted, and may we live our lives every day knowing that there's many that haven't had this opportunity because they've laid theirs down. May we live our lives in honor of them. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Whereas in November of 1919, President Wilson proclaimed November 11th as the first commemoration of Armistice Day to honor veterans of World War I, but in 1954, after World War II had required the greatest mobilization of soldiers, sailors, Marines, and airmen, and after American forces fought aggression in Korea, the 83rd Congress amended the Act of 1938 by striking the word armistice and inserting the word veterans. On June 1, 1954, November 11th became a day to honor veterans of all wars. And whereas to protect the nation they love, our veterans stepped forward in American around the world that sacrificed and resolved helped destroy the enemies of freedom and save millions from oppression. In answering history's call and honor, decency, and resolve, our veterans have shown the power of liberty and earned the respect and admiration of a grateful nation. Whereas Veterans Day is observed to focus attention on the importance of honoring America's veteran men and women for their patriotism, love of country, and willingness to serve so valiantly on the seas, in the air, and on foreign shores to preserve our heritage and freedom. Whereas Veterans Appreciation Day is observed so specifically focused attention on the needs of DeSoto veterans and their families, and is designed to acknowledge the sacrifices that were made. Therefore, this year, we will honor our veterans as well as help them take advantage of the many opportunities and benefits they are entitled to through dissemination of information for operating small businesses, special health and mental health benefits, and local businesses who offer special veterans discounts or services. Now, therefore, I, Curtis Dean S. McCowan, authority vested in me by the state of Texas, Dallas County, and as mayor of the city of DeSoto, Texas, proclaim November 10, 2018 as Veterans Day and Veterans Appreciation Day in the city of DeSoto, and encourage all Americans to recognize the valor and sacrifice of our veterans through ceremonies and prayers, and to also display their United States flag on this date. In accordance with the United States Flag Code, the flags flown at every city of DeSoto facility will remain at full staff in honor of these veterans. And we just stand by my hand and call the city of DeSoto to be effective this 10th day of November 2018. Signed, Curtis Dean S. McCowan, as GCP Morris Perkins, City Secretary. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. You know, I have been gone for about 26, actually 30 years, and it's always a pleasure to come back home because this is home for me. And so it is an honor. It is an honor to accept this proclamation on behalf of all the highly esteemed veterans that are in this room. It is just a blessing to have served, and I can remember just like yesterday when I left to go join the Navy. I had just graduated from nursing school and was ready to heal the world, one patient at a time. And so I had just been commissioned, and I remember having my bags packed in the foyer of my parents' home in lovely West Dallas. And I was waiting on my girlfriends to pick me up, and I can remember the excitement. It was palpable, and I'm sure that you all can relate to after graduating and ready to do wonderful things. Well, I remember my mother looking at me, and she said, "Little girl, I know you're excited, but your father and I gave you the best that we had, and I want you to go to the Navy and do the same for them." And so I left there and never forgot that. But doing the best is what veterans do every day. And as each year passes, all that we've done and that we do, we become very proudful of what we've accomplished. And the pride never changes, but it can be enhanced. And that is when you live in a state that honors veterans. And that is Texas. And so for that reason, I'm thankful. I've had the chance to be other places and other states, and nobody treats you like Texas does when you're a veteran. Again, thank you all for being here, and thank my family. My husband served 24 years in the Air Force, so we have a veteran family. And I also, can't leave here without saying that. Thank my beautiful parents, Alan and Alma Johnson, who realized that no matter where you start, you can end up anywhere. And so, no matter where you're from, and I love, and I'm so proud that I'm from West Dallas. And so, we're just thankful for that, and to all the veterans that are here. Thank you so much.
Mrs. Sergeant, I said, do you want to say something? And she just kind of waved at me, no. But you sure looked good last week at this celebration over at the Senior Center. You really look good. She was one of the winners in the costume contest for Oktoberfest on Halloween. So let us give Mrs. Sergeant a hand also. At this time, we will have the recognition of elected officials by the chair of the Veterans Affairs Advisory Committee, Lieutenant Colonel Russell Hooper, retired.
Thank you, Mayor McCampbell. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's my distinct honor to recognize our elected officials that are in attendance today. First of all, the mayor of this great all-America city of DeSoto, the Honorable Curtisine S. McCowan. Our Mayor Pro Tem, Councilwoman Rachel Proctor. Councilwoman Nicole Raphael. Councilman Dick North. Also our elected official, Councilwoman Candace Quarles and Councilman Kinsey Moore, who could not be in attendance. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention representatives from Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson's office, Cordell Coleman, the Director of Outreach, Ms. Dominique Brown, and Ms. Alicia Terry. Are there any elected officials that I did not catch? If you are, please stand. Good morning, ma'am. Thank you.
I am Judge-elect Sandra Jackson, 302nd Family District Court, Dallas County. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Judge-elect, congratulations, ma'am. Thank you, veterans, for your service. God bless you and your families.
He was also in charge of these amazing junior ROTC students that you've seen here today, and we just want to thank him. He is doing an incredible job, a dynamic job, and he wears many hats, and he chairs the Planning and Zoning Commission. So he's really a busy guy. At this time, we will have a letter from Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson, and it will be read by one of her representatives, Dominique Brown. Ms. Brown, can you please come forward?
Good morning. Good morning. On behalf of Congresswoman Johnson, dear Mayor McCowan and the City of DeSoto, thank you very much for inviting me to this year's Vet Fest in DeSoto. You have worked tirelessly and done a wonderful job in setting up this program again to recognize and honor and support the veterans in our community. I am very sorry I am unable to address all of the people here today. Millions of families and individuals across America are coming together to honor our servicemen and women. On the 100th anniversary marking the end of World War I, the war to end all wars, it is important for us to stop and thank the personal sacrifices made by men and women in uniform. Because of them, as we as a people are able to enjoy the freedom and prosperity at home. There are more than 105,000 veterans right here in Dallas County, and we owe these great Americans our heartfelt gratitude to sacrifice in protecting this country and the values we stand for at all times of peace and at times of war. When one makes an oath, it is in their words that they will adhere to and guarantee with all their beings that they will stand behind this oath. I am a big believer in oaths. our men and women in uniform take an oath to support and defend the Constitution, and with that, they enter into a contract with our government. We owe it to our veterans to provide them with quality health care. For many years, I have worked with the VA, both here and in Washington, D.C., to ensure our veterans receive only the highest level of care. It is important to me as a nation, as our nation continues to grow, to give our servicemen and women the care that they need when they are most vulnerable. Texas has more than 1.6 million veterans, making it the second largest state of veterans after California. Today, women comprise of approximately 15% of the military force in the United States, and Texas is the largest population of women veterans in the United States. And it is estimated that women veterans will become the 10% of the total veteran population by 2020. The VA needs to prepare for the increase in women veterans for care, and I am working to ensure that women who have served our nation so bravely get the care that they have earned and deserve. It is important the rights of veterans are not lost in this political fight in Washington. We need greater funding for veterans' health care programs, greater assistance with processing of their claims, fighting on behalf of homeless veterans, and working to ensure that our nation's veterans receive the funding for college education and training they need to survive and succeed after their military service ends. Thank you again for coming out to support all veterans, and please contact my office for any help that is needed. Sincerely, Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson.
I was notified that one of our favorite leaders in this region, and soon will be beyond this region, as he already is. But anyway, he has arrived, and I would like to acknowledge State Representative-elect for District 109, former mayor, the 20th mayor of the All-America City, the first African-American to be elected mayor of this city, the Honorable Carl O. Sherman Sr. I was looking all over for him. There he is. He's taking his rightful place here on the front row. Welcome. Congratulations. We are so very proud of you. So very proud of you. We're going to insert something in our program. I need to hear the golden voices. Don't we? Are you going to sing with them? Okay, good. Ladies and gentlemen, the golden voices.
Praise the Lord. Sherman, I was waiting on you to come grab the mic and take it over from there. That was wonderful. That was wonderful. So I have the distinct pleasure of introducing our honorable speaker today, Major Wade, President. And I just wanted to welcome you all for coming out and thanking you all for coming out to honor our veterans on this very chilly morning. But when Kathy Jones gave me her bio, I really struggled to figure out what I was going to say and what I was going to pick and choose, because she has a very impressive resume. And so I'll just give you a little bit about her. Major Wade President is a Contracts Division Chief, Procurement Support and Policy Directorate at the Army and Air Force Exchange Service Headquarters, also known as AFIS. And prior to her current position, Major President was a policy officer assigned to the J5 Strategic and Planning Directorates of the U.S. Pacific Command. In the Northeast Asia Policy Division, as the Korea Country Director, she was responsible for Paul Mill policy vis-a-vis Republic of Korea, Northeast Asia, trilateral and multilateral initiatives. And in the Strategy and Policy Division, she was responsible for command force structuring projects and international armed services shows. She has been deployed twice to Middle East. During the second deployment, she served flight chiefs for the services contracts and the commodity procurement branch at Victory Air Base, Iraq. And prior to commission, as an enlisted airman, she served as a radiology technician, both statewide and deployed location. Some major awards and decorations that she has received include Defense Meritorious Service Medal, the Joint Service Commendation Medal, the Air Force Commendation Medal, Joint Service Achievement Medal, and the Air Force Achievement Medal. Major President was born in Chicago, Illinois, and raised in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and she's married to Caleb President from New York, New York. They have two sons, Franklin and Benjamin. DeSoto, Texas, let's put our hands together, first to thank her for her service to our country, and second, to welcome her to the podium as she comes to speak to us today in honor of all the veterans that have served this country well. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Major Wade, President.
Good morning. So, just like the song said, yes, he can. And he can work out all the things that I don't understand, and he gives me opportunity to do whatever you hear just now. And I always wonder what's going to happen. We move to different city, taking different jobs, but he said he can. So, yeah. And with DeSoto, have such a wonderful choir. Yes, DeSoto can. So I know I have short time, so thank you for Mayor Pro Tem Proctor, and allow me first to thank God for allowing me to enjoy this precious moment and praise unto the Lord. And again, my first name is Wade, last name is President. I have lots of jokes with that. With my two boys being Franklin and Benjamin, though I have a lot of really didn't plan. We truly didn't plan. And the Travis Air Force Base Hospital say, you need a name. You need a name to get out of hospital. Thank you for Mayor Calvin, and your team. And thank you for your leadership in upholding this calling for this event. Thank you for the DeSoto High School student body and their ROTC color guard. What I thank you is for you showing us a bright future, discipline, and confidence. For our choir, yes, we can, and thank you for our DeSoto High School choir as well, beautiful voice to praise and reverence those who lay down the foundation for our nation. Thank you, Chief. Thank you for Councilman Noor, and thank you for Captain Rich, Colonel Hooper, and our Veteran Affairs Committee. Thank you for walk the walk and talk the talk. Thank you for your enduring work and legacy. And for our vendor out there, thank you for tremendous giving, support, and positive opportunity for our city and our people. So actually today's keynote speaker is our veteran, and I'm just a small piece. I only play a small part in our colorful flag and our colorful service flag. I'm honored to speak with you, and today we're here to honor our service member and remember the sacrifice that they have made and the courage to take on to defend honor, duty, and country. So with recent health challenges, I am so humble and come to be much more empathy for our disfigured and disabled veteran. About a year ago, I have allergy attack and my face was unrecognizable. And for the first time, I was like, oh, now I know how it feels when you lost your face, especially for your country. I usually just read an article and look at the picture and look at the disfigured body or faces, and for the first time, and again, he knows what's best, and I come to know how it actually feels with your face walking around like that. Thank you all. Thank you for you who answered the call. You have lived through tough time and taking heavy loads to keep the fire burning. So may I ask veterans and your family, let's stand for more. So a little bit about me. When I got invited from Duncanville and DeSoto to come, they say, just talk about yourself. And when I look at more veteran speech, I was like, myself is too small. My piece is just coming through basic training. When I was 27, I came from Malaysia. I have 20 years or more of Southeast Asia experience. Coming to the United States, I didn't even know how to, although I was born in the United States, I did not know how to sing national anthem. And so it's a big change for me. And again, he knows what's best for me. He showed me that all that he wanted to show me, and I want to continue to show me off about his might. And I have a colorful Air Force life with many different assignments as an X-ray tech in Texas, Maryland, and Nebraska, and in Saudi Arabia. And later on, I got commissioned and joined the contracting corps. And you ask, what is contracting corps and procurement? Basically, we make taxpayer money well spent. We make sure there is audit, there is federal regulation that we have to follow, and make sure your money is being spent well, that is supported by multiple market research and evidence of good, smart spending for supporting our nation. So with that job, I was able to serve in California, Alabama, and Iraq. I was given, later on, the Air Force say, well, you are given opportunity to learn Korean, and I did. At 40 years old, I thought that should be okay. Since I have Chinese background, so I thought that should be easy. I was wrong. When you're 40 years old, trying to learn a language in 13 months, it was really tough in defense language school. But I was able to graduate and continue serving as a Korean policy officer in Hawaii. And now, God knows best again, and he say, you're going back to your procurement career field, and we were thinking, what is our options? And when I got the order, they say, you're going to AFES. And I'm like, other than uniform, I really do not shop in AFES. So for the first time, I walk into the AFES with awareness of, oh, there's people. There's actually people selling stuff. And so I say, okay, so now I'm in Dallas for about a year. I come to learn what I miss. I miss to know that what this organization is doing from veterans, and they hire lots of veterans, and they hire a lot of people from DeSoto too. So I did not know that a lot of the cheaper price that we enjoy on base, including whitewater rafting when I was doing, or single party, or to cheaper cheaper ticket to the movie or lots of the child development center, why the price is so low. I have no idea why it was low. I was, oh, that's just for us. And I found out that it's every money, every dollar that they spend selling a retail and the benefit they're receiving is what's supporting this non-appropriate fund. When you say non-appropriate fund, means they're not allocated or appropriate by the Congress. It's by the customer and the own community supporting ourselves. So I come to learn a lot and enjoy doing their mission. So as I matured throughout my military career, I found out what is bigger than me is the uniform. People thank the uniform. In a split second, they actually thank the greatness and the uniform embody and signify. And in a split second, they thank the person who are willing to take on the calling to continue this greatness. At the face of unfairness, this greatness was made. This greatness means sacrifice, loss, hardship, sadness that linger around. This greatness means service before self, victory, competitive advantage that you had bring to our nation. You are wearing this uniform and encompassing all this greatness. This greatness surpassed military rank, accomplishment, medal, and reward. These greatness are marked for humanity and freedom. Thank you for your service. Our veterans have the disciplined mindset, action, experience as a warrior. Now they are among us doing the same, living in our city. They continue doing life in our city with steadfast discipline, keen mindset, constructive action, sharing their life experience with us. You are our encouragement because you never give up. Today, we in DeSoto, along with others throughout the country, to remember, to honor, and pay our gratitude to you and to those who serve our country. We are here to sustain the flame of pride that burns across the nation today and every day. Last, about our commerce, business, and social economic pathway, you and many others have supported these great men and women by hiring veterans in your workplace. You visited a VA hospital, fighting homelessness, and donate to a veterans program. When our members of Guard and Reserve deploy, it is you, our American businessmen and women, to ensure that our the Guard and Reserve civilian career do not suffer, that they understand that they are being supported. It is American business who support and share the cost, and you help to share. We are doing better because we can do better, and we must do better. After this program, I'm honored to share a short presentation and pamphlet information about our military retail mission and what we can do for our veterans. Especially with AFI's recently, last year, we have come to launch a program called Veteran Online Shopping Benefit. You will ask, why have this shopping privilege been extended to veterans? Because you are our family. You step ahead of us and have done the great work for us. So we're here to recognize, honor your service, make you and our service member life better, improve the overall military community. We expand the online shopping privilege to strengthen the funding of military quality of life, to include child development center, youth program, fitness center, outdoor recreation program, affordable school lunch in overseas, uniforms. Wow, so many things that I didn't know of before. So for all the benefits that I just mentioned above, in the past, whether I know it or not, I received the benefit. Someone has worked hard for this benefit, whether we know how much or how painful or not, as we enjoy the freedom, someone paid for the cost. When I was younger as a lieutenant in Travis, when I usually walk out in the community, people would thank me. They would shake my hand and thank me. It took me many years to find out why they say thank you to me as I come through my 18 years of service, as I see the younger faces who's gonna step up. I know why they thank you for your service. You did a lot for our nation. You and your family have sacrificed tremendously to make this freedom affordable. Thank you for listening, and thank you. God bless us, family, our troop, and God bless America.
We need you. That was beautiful. We thank you so much. I have a small token of our appreciation to you, to honor you for your service, for your remarkable service to our country, and providing the keynote address at the City of DeSoto's Veterans Affairs Appreciation event today. And I want to say this to you. We really appreciate the fact that you stepped up when Congresswoman Johnson was called out of city to take care of some business, very important business. And we know, although we were partnering with her, and the fact that we were, just anxiously awaiting her presence again this year, she notified us of the call and the fact that she couldn't be here. I reached out to a dear friend I serve with on one of the, in the best Southwest here, a friend from Duncanville, former council member, because I knew he was is the former CEO at APHIS. And I said, we want someone from APHIS, will you help us? So I called former council member Weaver in Duncanville, and through him and the current mayor of Duncanville, and I'm saying this because it's so important to have friends and friends who have connections. And we thought it really fitting that we have someone from APHIS come, and we said we want a woman because we do want to emphasize the service and the contributions of everyone, but this year we wanted to place a higher emphasis on women who have served our country. To Mr. Weaver and the current mayor of Duncanville, Mayor Gordon, who is at a conference this weekend, I want to say thanks to them as I honor you with this, because they helped the city of DeSoto, we're good friends, connect with you. Your name was given to us and made your way president. And I just love saying Major President. Thank you so much. God bless you.
You are my superstar.
Just wonderful. At this time, we have another presentation. This presentation is called our Soldier On Award. It was started by our 20th mayor, Carl Sherman Sr., and I wanted to continue it because I thought it was just that important that we recognize someone in this community who gives and gives and gives and continues to, a veteran, not necessarily a veteran, this year's veteran, but who continues to work on behalf of our veterans. And so I'd like for the former winners of the Soldier On Award State Representative-elect Sherman to join me. If there are other, I don't know if, I was looking to see if former Mayor Waddle is in the audience, but if you are a former Soldier On Award winner, okay, because I'm looking into the light, okay, I just wanted to make sure. So I have, which I think is appropriate, since you started this, I have you to join me, so let me get this support. It's a surprise. We hope, the surprise may be our birthday. At this time, I would like to bring up someone who really recommended, I believe Mayor Sherman, that we do a special event each year for our veterans. And so she is a member of Golden Voices, and in fact, she led the song that you just heard that fired us all up. This year's winner of the Soldier On Award is presented to none other than Althea. She comes forward. I think she's surprised. On behalf of the All-America City of DeSoto and leaders past and present, my colleagues on the council, we salute you for your unselfish support of our American veterans, the city of DeSoto. We love you. We would like you to give some remarks.
As you can see, I was not expecting this. I just know when I approached Mayor Sherman years ago that our veterans deserve more recognition than what they're getting. So I just told him that we should do something different. And here we are. How many years later? Many years later. So it's not just, it takes a village. And we all came together, and it gets bigger and better every year. Thank you.
Those voices were truly golden. I thought I would have theme music when I came up here. I am deeply honored to stand with you all, commemorating the sacrifices each of you have made for the betterment of this great nation. I would like to acknowledge all of our distinguished guests, veterans, spouses, family members, active duty military members, members of law enforcement, fire and rescue, and everyone else that is here to partake in the City of DeSoto's Veteran Festival. I thank you all for being here today. If you are able to, I'd like to ask the service members, veterans, and their spouses to please stand. Thank you all for answering the call to duty. You have made our armed forces the most respected in the world. I am also a proponent of giving spouses just as much credit because of duty calls. At a moment's notice, our spouses are left to continue daily duties that are normally handled together alone. Bills don't stop, grass doesn't stop growing, and children don't stop needing care. A famous quote from General Lewis Puller goes, "Son, if the Marines thought you needed a wife, we wouldn't have issues with one." It's fun to laugh at that, but the truth is spouses are often the backbones that support our troops during their toughest times. Please give them a round of applause. Please be seated. All right. No matter which branch you served in, how many years you served, or even how many tours you completed, raising your hand and committing yourself to service in the military was a brave and selfless act. An act that came with few guarantees. When you first met your recruiter, you didn't know where you would be assigned. You didn't know what your job function would be. You didn't know whether or where you would be deployed. And in some cases, you would return in one piece or at all. Let my recruiter tell it. I was going to spend my time in Hawaii flying jets. But that didn't happen. Again, thanks to those who have served and those who continue to serve today. Because of you, America can sleep peacefully at night. Military men and women know the risks, but they accept them, and in many cases, so that others won't have to. God bless you all. Bless our veterans, bless the spouses, and bless the United States of America. If you are able to, I'd like to ask our veterans to stand when they recognize their branch of service by the Armed Forces Medal A plays, so members of the JROTs can present you with the gift we have prepared for you today.